Hello everybody, just coming to an end of day 3 of the Legends of Novus Kickstarter campaign, and really excited to see that we've seen a little bit more positive growth today. We had a couple people leave the campaign, but more people came than left, and at the end we were sitting at a higher backing and pledge total than this morning, so positive growth is a good thing, and many days and weeks to come, so really excited about where we're headed. Sharing today with you some news about Character Sheet, but also wanted to let you know that Fundamental Games has made one other game before, and that game is called Duel of the Dragons. And Duel of the Dragons was on Kickstarter just for 2 weeks, and that was more just for myself and the artist involved to understand a bit more about the Kickstarter campaign and platform and what happens during and after the campaign, so that making a bigger game like Novus wasn't a complete shock at the end. So if you're interested in Duel of the Dragons, that's going to be available on Drive-Thru Cards soon. But really, I just wanted to let you know that we've been through a full Kickstarter process from start to finish, from design to manufacturing to fulfillment, and that's just an exciting way to learn all about Kickstarter and make sure that you can understand that we can deliver Legends of Novus to you. So keep sharing with your friends and gamers and clubs that you're part of, Facebook, Board Game Geek, wherever it is you think you can share Legends of Novus, and we'll dive into the character sheet. Alright, so for today we're going to give you a quick live glimpse as to what you could expect to see using your character sheet. So I showed you these folding character boards a little while ago with the indents and places you can place cards and your markers. So today it's all about how to equip your character. So you're going to have your character, you'll have your character class. Those will often be tethered hand in hand, but we'll talk about that in another segment. And throughout the game you're going to be collecting what we call reward cards, which is the one with the treasure symbol. So I'm just going to speedily go through some reward cards that you might get in the game. So to start with, we've got a pair of leather boots here. So if Chandrel wanted to equip these, they would go on the boot section of her character sheet. There's no class restriction, and they're going to give her +1 combat, and you'll see there +1 or +2 to her escape roll. Or they could be sold for 5 gold if you're in a city. We're just looking at the equipment part today, so going to equip those boots onto the foot section, and she's going to gain 1 combat permanently until she loses those boots. Next item she finds is a small shield. Can't be equipped by a wizard class unless you're advanced, so it doesn't affect her. It goes in one of her 2 hand slots and gives her 1 combat. So put that there. Her combat would go up to 3. Maybe she'll find a magical item, so that's represented by the scroll icon. Doesn't give her any combat, but if she wanted to, at any time she could use that scroll to gain 2 experience. Or because she's a priest, she would get an extra experience. So those go on the item slots. They don't have to be used right away. They can be put in your hand or on your sheet. Sometimes you may want them on your sheet to keep your hand size at 5 or less. Next up we have another item. This is a potion of speed. This is one that you'd save maybe for combat or for the beginning of a turn where you want to travel further. So in order to use a piece of equipment like this, it's a one-time use. It does have to be equipped first. So she's going to equip that potion of speed in a second item slot there. Next up we have a spirit hammer. So this spirit hammer shows 2 in a hand symbol. That means that she has to use both of her hand slots to hold this mighty weapon. It can only be used by priest class. That's why you see the priest icon there, which means no other class could use it unless they're dual class. And she's going to gain 3 combat for that and a little bonus against some other things there. So if she equips that, she actually has to take the shield off because she can't hold the shield and that 2-handed hammer at the same time. But she could sell this later if she wanted to, or discard it for other reasons that the game provides. So she's going to lose the 1 from her shield, but then she's going to gain 3 thanks to her hammer. So her net is a gain there. Next up we find an enchanted helmet. That is a head item, and again that's going to give her an extra 2 combat. So slap that helmet on, increase her ability to fight. Next up we have a Ring of the Griffin, an item slot again, no combat bonus, but what it does do is it gives her +1 to her movement every single turn and +2 to escape. So normally you can move 2 map markers a turn. With this ring on, she'll be able to move 3 map markers a turn. and that makes a big difference when you're trying to solve parts of the game. Some body armor, so that goes in the center of the character sheet. Full plate armor gives her 3 combat, but you'll notice it says if you're not an advanced class, you suffer -1 combat because you're not as proficient in this armor. So she slaps this armor on. Normally she would get +3, but because she's still a basic class, she'll just get +2, bringing her to 9 combat. What would a priest be without a holy symbol? Well, I guess we don't have to find out today. She gets this holy symbol. It can only be used by priest class, no combat strength, but it does give her bonuses against undead and for certain effects there. So it is a useful card for her to have. And if you were another class, you could sell it. It's not a wasted card ever. So there you have it. There's an example of the character sheet in action, how your combat track goes up and down depending on what kind of equipment you have. You can gain skills from the adventure deck. We'll talk about the adventure deck another day. All right. Thanks for watching.